Here we are, pizza, mamma mia, pizza. One of the greatest inventions of all time. A food that is so ubiquitous you can find it all around the entire world if you're traveling. If you have that craving like so many of us do all the time, you'll be able to find it somewhere. Making pizza is one of the most fulfilling dishes you can make in the kitchen. Making it by hand, from scratch, to finish, you fermenting the dough yourself, to putting on the toppings, throwing it in the oven and bringing it out and just getting that nice pizza parlor smell in your house is just a fantastic way to have a great Friday or Saturday evening. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, the few ingredients that are necessary for pizza dough are, of course, flour. Now, I've always used usually all-purpose flour, but this time I got these great gifts from my wonderful mother from King Arthur. They're specialty pizza dough flours. There's a Neapolitan style pizza, but I'm gonna try this other one. It's like the pizza flour blend, and they say it's their custom blend of durum and all-purpose flours, has a touch of dough conditioner to yield the ideal crisp, chewy pizza crust every time. That sounds pretty good. So I'm gonna start with that. Of course, we're gonna need our yeast, which I'm gonna use the sourdough starter this time. A little bit of water, some salt, and one more thing. Of course, a little bit of olive oil. Gotta have that Italian touch there, the Mediterranean style. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out the ingredients. Now you can use cups, but I've got this nice scale here, so do it by weight. And I'm gonna use this bucket, and I'll just throw that right on there and start putting in the ingredients and get the dough set. Come on over here and take a look, all right? Shall we? Here's what we got. Now I use the spoon to bring the ingredients together to get it to this consistency. You can see it's a little elastic, not too dry, not too wet. At this point, we're just gonna take our hands and just put a little bit of physical effort into it to knead that dough in, and then bring it to the point at which we're gonna just put it right in the bowl or whatever you're gonna use, or this bucket if you have one, and set it in the fridge and let it just ferment until you're ready to use it.
While you're kneading your dough, don't be fooled by just any flour. Gluten percentage really matters for breads like pizza crust. Now, this video is by no means sponsored, but I'd highly recommend spending a little bit more for quality ingredients. Better flours such as King Arthur flour offer quality wheat and specify the gluten protein content percentage so you know which flour will work well with your recipes.
Now we have this beautiful dough here. Look at this, it's perfect. It's been kneaded out. This will make roughly 2 pizzas. All right, excellent. So now we have our pizza dough. It is ready to go. I put it in the bucket. I put a little olive oil around it so it won't get too sticky on the sides. So again, I'm gonna just put this in the fridge. It's a set it and forget it kind of recipe. When I'm ready to use it, I'm gonna pull it out and let it bring its temperature back up, of course, to room temperature. And it'll probably puff up again. But yeah, it's gonna do cold fermentation in the fridge. So if you're in a hurry though, what you can do to get it to, maybe you're trying to get this ready in like 1 hour, you can maybe throw a ½ teaspoon of instant yeast to just give it that extra strength to get that yeast to grow faster, because that's just like, instant yeast is much more aggressive than the sourdough starter yeast. This natural, which is also a natural wild yeast. Now I'm just gonna put that lid on it and get cleaning up.
Alright, I have returned, and so has the pizza dough. It's looking great. It actually had time to ferment over a day. Now I'm gonna take it out of here. Well, I need to separate it into 2 doughs in order to make the 2 pizzas for the recipe. So let me just break this apart here and plop it right out on the pizza pan, or, well, in this case, a baking sheet. There we are. And now let's get started on making the pizza. Now, it's not necessary to have all the tools and the gadgets to make pizza. In fact, this recipe is pretty simple, really. I didn't even use a rolling pan here to do the dough, and I didn't have pizza pan. So you just gotta get it on what's suitable in order to put it in the oven that you could cook it on. And it's also large enough to make a pizza. Now, when rolling out the dough, patience is key. Give it time to kind of stretch out and come into a nice form. This will ensure that your crust comes out to a nice, even thickness without any holes. Here I've got a real pepperoni with flavor much better than any delivery pizza you'll find. I cannot stress enough, if you're going to go the extra mile, as they say, you should really consider buying better ingredients. Quality pizza and food requires quality ingredients. Same goes with the cheese, sausage, or whatever else you want to put on your pizza. Have a little fun with selecting your ingredients and toppings and make the pizza your own. A little bit about cheese. For this I used classic provolone for a little stronger flavor. However, mozzarella is an all-around excellent choice and pairs well with a little Parmesan sprinkled on top after coming right out of the oven. By putting your vegetables on top, it prevents the meat from overcooking and also ensures that the high water content in the vegetables evaporates enough where it's not too wet and soggy when it comes out of the oven. The masterpiece is ready, and I'm going to put it in the oven. I bake usually around 15 minutes to the point at which the cheese and crust starts to brown is when it's perfect. Alright, the pizza's ready to go and time to pull it out of the oven here. Let's take a look. Beautiful. Love at first sight. That is a masterpiece. Bubbling, the smell, just beautiful.